Hello, everybody. Do we have some exciting news for you today? I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, co-founder of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing. Every week we go live to bring you everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote a great book. And I'm always joined by our superstar author, best-selling author, Joanie Lindenmeyer. Welcome, Joanie.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good to see you. Thank you for that great introduction. How are you this beautiful day?
I'm exhausted because I'm in hermit mode, writing multiple books, and it's going great, except it's like all my energy goes into it. But guess what happens when you do that?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
You become a best-selling author. Because the last book that I finished a short while ago is Write Your Book in a Day, the blueprint for turning your book dreams into published reality. And guess what? It is a bestseller. Not only is it a bestseller in three categories on Amazon, but it is on the hot new releases list, and it's number three. Earlier this week, it was number two yesterday, and then it was number four, and now it's back to three. And that means people are buying the book. They're putting it to use, they're writing their books, and that is the most exciting news you can have about a book. So, Joni,
Absolutely.
yes.
Congratulations. Congrats. So when you say hot, it reminds me of my old volleyball days when we would do something hot on the court. We'd go like this. Sizzle.
Oh, I love
Sizzle.
it.
Yeah, so
Oh, I
you
love
and
it.
Catherine are sizzling.
Oh,
Congratulations.
thank you. I just want to show
Yes.
everybody what that looks like. So, this is the Amazon Hot New Releases list. It's by category, and ours is in editing, writing, reference. And so, over the weekend, we hit the bestseller categories of women in business, this one, and another one about publishing specifically. And so, there are 100 books listed on each of these lists. And today's episode, Joni, as we discussed, is all about why does this matter? Why does it matter to be a bestseller on Amazon? And so we're going to dive deep into that for all of you authors out there because obviously it gives you bragging rights, but there's so much more. So, Joni, let's start with you and None Better, your best-selling memoir. When it became a bestseller, first, how did you feel? And secondly, how did it affect your whole endeavor?
Was stunned. I was shocked. I ran to the bathroom. Um, my whole body just exuded this enormous joy that just blew me out of the water because I never imagined that, Elizabeth. I know that you and Catherine kept inspiring and instilling, and I knew that you walked the walk and talked the talk. And that's what you're doing today, by the way. Even though you run a huge business and you help all these incredible authors, you pedal to the metal, you and Catherine, and you just created another bestseller. I mean, that just speaks volumes. And so here's my prop. Here's You are a star.
Oh, that's so
You and Catherine,
cool.
it's stardom time. It is stardom
Oh,
time.
that's
And everybody just doesn't go to Elizabeth and Catherine, but it does go to you because I believe if it happened to me, you can also be a star. You can
mm,
also be a star. And so the feeling is just phenomenal. And I remember when None Better hit the best selling, it was like, oh my gosh, now I know that more people will listen. I became a greater influencer, I guess. I
yeah.
became a greater impact to people
Hmm.
because they realized that I just won the spelling bee, an Emmy, a World Series, and a Super Bowl all at the same time when you become a bestseller. That's sort of what it's like, you know?
Wow. Wow, Joni. Okay,
You know,
that's true.
it is. It's beautiful, and I think about all the stars that I've known in my life, and you especially, you and Catherine in the book world. But what came to me this morning when you said bestseller, I want to tell you a quick story, and it'll go really quick. And there's relatability here, everybody. Of course, as writers, we're always creative and we're telling stories. I was a novice in Los Angeles, and I was had more energy than could be. So besides going to my theology classes at Loyola Marymount and teaching at St. Anastasia School and going through all my stuff, I said, I have more energy. What can I do? So they said, well, why don't you work at the Sisters Hospital called Daniel Freeman in Los Angeles and work with the therapist in the swimming pool? I said, I would love that. I've got my PE background. I've taught swimming to little kids. This will be fabulous. So I get there. My very first day was a beautiful young man, 24 years old, and he had been in a massive motorcycle accident and paralyzed from the neck down. He had such gumption. He wanted to get in that pool. Long story short, week after week, and I think I did that 2 or 3 days a week, I would work with him in the swimming pool with the therapist. His goal was he wanted to race me across the pool, and he wouldn't let me be give in to him. He wanted to be a total competition. So months and months and months went by, and he continued to work and continued to work and continued to work. He'd get out of his wheelchair, and it would take several of us to get him in the pool. And then he would start doing his exercise, and it was just amazing. Well, one final day, it was the race between him and Joanie. I was sweating bullets in the pool, thinking, I want to lose to this guy. And he's like, I am beating this sister. I am beating this nun down that pool. Lo and behold, guess who won?
Who?
He did.
He could
He
swim? How could
beat
he
me in
swim?
a race down the pool. He kicked so darn hard, and his dedication, his commitment, he was so fired up. He was a star that day. He had conquered all of his battles. He'd gone past being paralyzed. He was a star. That was his best selling moment
Oh,
of his life
wow.
because it
Wow.
led to other greater things. He knew he could do more. This is my point. When you become a bestseller, you know you can do more. You are now
Oh,
blessed with something big time inside your heart and your brain that will impact other people forever.
wow. That's amazing. I love
That's
that.
the power of being a bestseller in
Yes.
life and with the books.
Hmm. Wow, Joni, I love, love, love that because that is all about how you feel about yourself. And that radiates out into the world and manifests new opportunities, such as you becoming a syndicated radio show host. But let's start with the actual benefit of being a best-selling author with a best-selling book in the marketplace. So that was an amazing story. That is so cool because you're
Thank
right,
you.
it all starts within and encourages you. So what happens when you make one of these lists? Well, of course, it fills you with what Joni just described, that wonderful feeling of accomplishment, fulfillment, and that you can do anything now. But at the same time, what it does is it boosts your visibility in the marketplace. So now any person out there on Amazon, which is where people go to look for books, if they want a book about editing and writing reference, and they're going to search for books on that topic, this list is going to come up. It has the top 100 books about writing. And so it's automatic marketing for you when you're on the list. Otherwise, you're just among the millions of books on Amazon and nobody finds you. So this boosts your visibility. And as a result, it boosts your credibility because people think, oh, if this is the number 3 book and people must be buying it and using it, it must be good. I should buy it too. And let me just show that the number 1 and 2 books don't really apply to what we're doing. This one is self-editing for fiction. If you're writing a nonfiction book or you don't want that book, you want our book. Next, number 2 is self-editing essentials for nonfiction, which is interesting, but you'll notice both of these are both about editing. Our book is the whole deal, and we're number 3. So it boosts your visibility and your credibility and your accessibility, which I think that's why we've been on this hot new release list all week, because not only has the word been spreading in our networks, but people see it here and order it. So that is a huge, huge benefit. So Joni, what are some other benefits that you know of being a best-selling author?
Category that I was in,
Yeah.
when None Better, and this blew me away too. It was um, LGBTQ parents and family. That's where it became number 24. And
Oh,
I thought,
okay.
think about that. Here is a former nun story, a love story, and it came across an LGBTQ parents and family. That to me exuded the love that we had. And I just thought that was an incredible category for it to come. So back to your question, how else has it changed or influenced what I do and who I am?
Yes.
Incredible,
Uh-huh.
incredible. So not everybody can say they have a bestseller. I mean, it's an honor. It's an honor to be that. And so people do look a little I don't want to say they put you on a podium. There's more expectations and they trust you more. And so I think that is my big thing for None Better. Trust level has led to people coming out to me, people sharing their deepest secrets, people wanting to share the book with other family members. It has healed people in church relationships. It has healed people in straight or gay relationships. It has that one-on-one, that's what it's done on the one-on-one. In the bigger thing, yes, a radio show, newspaper articles, book events, all the things that I've done to help share the book to the world have all been phenomenal. And I've gone to so many different places because of that. So from Detroit, I always wear this for Detroit, and here we go. This is from Arkansas, and so all these places that I've been able to go to because of being a bestseller.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Excellent. I love that. I love that. So let me just share how becoming a bestseller works. It's not about hitting a certain sales number. It is about how many books you sold in comparison to all the other books that week, if it's a weekly list like the New York Times, or by the hour it changes on Amazon, just based in comparison to all the other books in your category. And then where do the categories come from? Well, when we create the titles on Ingram Spark, our publishing and distribution platform, we put in three main categories and we have to select from them. They're BISAC codes. And we have to select from them. And there's a science behind it in selecting the best categories to rank in as a bestseller. But also Amazon has its own categories as well. So for example, several of our books are by people who've had heart transplants, and Amazon will classify them under the American Heart Association category, which is amazing. So we have some control over it, but it's very important to enter keywords when you enter your metadata for your publishing, if you're in charge of that, to make sure that your keywords are very, very relevant and among the top searches for books. So there's that. Now, how do you get on the other bestseller list like USA Today or the New York Times specifically? Well, they have that's the best place you can possibly be because that's the highest visibility and the greatest credibility. Typically, books that make that ranking were published by the big five major traditional publishers in New York, which are very difficult to break into. You need a literary agent and all these things. So it's very difficult to get onto those lists. Um, but it's possible if your book does really, really well as a self-published book or hybrid published or indie press, and it gets enough sales and visibility, it can rank up there. The process for selecting the books that even get considered is kind of mysterious, but the pipeline, again, is very sort of elite in that the books are vetted by agents and then selected by acquisitions editors at the big five. So anyway, the beauty is that the Amazon list is very accessible to everyday people who write a great book and market it well. And one of our books, We Are Alike by Dr. Carol Nelson, about how she's a neurologist and she married someone, she was in a marriage for 24 years to a narcissist or somebody who fit the profile of a narcissist. she became a bestseller in hardcover, paperback, and ebook immediately, and we didn't advertise very much. It's just that that's such a very hot topic, narcissism, that it caught on, and the book's still doing very well. So it's really sometimes a perfect storm. And then there are ways to market the book in advance of its publication to make it a bestseller. So, Joni, I know
Yes.
you did that. You really ramped up the attention in advance. I wrote a book and I'm writing a book and it's coming out this day. And then we had the launch party. So, can you talk about the lead up that helped you become a bestseller?
Absolutely. I think that's really the key. Um, yes. So my business cards, my just getting it out there and telling everybody that I'm writing this book, which then helped them to be involved in my life, saying, "Oh yeah, okay, when it's published, I want a copy. I want to come to your party. I want to do all this stuff. I want to share it with other people." So the more people that I involved in the beforehand was awesome. And then Becca Bustamante, oh, she was my social media expert, so she helped me get on Facebook and TikTok and set up my Joyously Joni. But that all made a big difference too, because now it's not just the people I know, but it's out there to other people as well. And Catherine always reminds me of that. Yes, you always will have your friends and your family that will support you, but let's go bigger. Let's reach bigger. How can we reach more people? And her analytics and how she does that just amazes me. But I think that's part of the marketing strategy, to realize that this thing can go wild. Just like my book is like, I don't know how many countries now. Catherine was saying, yeah, I don't even know how many countries you're in, and you think about that. But with Amazon, people can go in France and go into Amazon .fra or whatever it is for France, and they can order the book in that country. And then what about the people that the people that have bought it and have taken it on the road in their travels and left it in a place? And when I did the Loreto, Mexico book event just a couple weeks ago, so now it's international, and it's like, wow, that is so cool. And it,
Wow.
but all of that lead up again is talking about it before the book is published. I think that's really, really super important, and to have fun with it, to have fun
Hmm.
with that.
I love it. I love it. So it is really, really fun when you can announce to your friends and colleagues and fans that your book is a bestseller. And
Mhm.
so I think that it gives a lot of credibility when it comes to landing speaking engagements,
Oh yes.
pitching book signings, author appearances, panel discussion participation. If you say your
Mm-hmm.
book is a bestseller, it helps you stand out from the competition, the crowd,
Hmm.
and all the other people vying for those limited spaces on stages.
Good point. I forgot all about that. That is so true. That is so true. Hmm.
Mhm. And so the bottom line is it starts here in the chair at your desk where I've been. I'm in hermit mode writing 3 books. I am freaking exhausted. Like I feel this pull within my body, like, oh my gosh, because your brain uses 20% of your energy. Did you know
Hmm.
that, Joni?
No, I did not know that. I
Well,
think it's more for me.
I agree. I think it's more for me too because like I literally feel my whole body has just been depleted of all the energy because it went up here. But it's amazing. Let me just tell all you aspiring writers out there, writing is hard. However, once you get your framework, your outline, your strategy, and then you're in the writing part, it is exhilarating. So I can
Yes.
sit here and say, "Oh,
Yes.
I'm so tired." But guess what? As soon as I log off and I get back to writing, I'm going to be like,
Right.
yep.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
it was like
So,
that at the
so
right.
Elizabeth, when you and Catherine wrote this book, did you have the intention that it was going to be a bestseller?
I had the best intention that anybody can have when you write a book, and that is that I want to teach the knowledge that we have learned over the 10 years of having our business and my career as a best-selling author that started in 1998 with my first novel. And so since then, I've been published by major New York publishers. I've self-published on Amazon. I've gotten books printed at a printing shop physically. And then we have our company, a hybrid publishing. So I've been
Mhm.
published by all of the above. I've written memoirs, business books, novels, poetry. I've written everything. I'm a ghostwriter writing books for people, and I have my own books. I have my self-help books, my Goddess Power series. So, Joni, I'm a book coach. I teach it. So, I wanted to take this book as the next step of what I teach, what I taught you in our 6 months to best-selling book success program, coaching you and leading workshops. And everybody was like, I see the worksheets, but I want all the information. I'm like, okay, we're putting it in a book. So we took our 62-page workbook that I'd been using for years to lead writing workshops in Oregon at our retreat last year in Oregon, or no, the year before, and then through the Detroit Writing Room here in Detroit. I'm a coach and I've led lots of workshops on how to write a book. And I wanted to take all that content and make it a book. So we took 62 pages and now it's 200 and 200 and like 36 or something like that now. And so we fleshed it out with all the explanations that go in between each worksheet. So, Joni, that was my motive. And then being a bestseller is icing on the cake.
Yes. That I guess that was my point, you know, that you do it from your heart and soul to help other people. That's
Mhm.
why I did None Better, is
Yeah.
to help other people. And then, like you just said, it's icing on the cake when you're given those awards, you
Yeah.
know. But I also know that your personality, my personality, and I think everybody listening, you always want to do the best at whatever you're doing. You want to be a best friend, a lover, whatever you're involved in, you always want to do it to the best of your ability and
Hmm.
to become better and better at doing whatever your task or your skill or whatever your profession is
Hmm.
to do better and better and better, because that is admirable for people. And then when you put it in something that gets accolades, that can be the icing on the cake, that's even better.
Yeah. 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 And so let's talk about more icing on the cake, like these gorgeous flowers. You might
Ooh,
notice
aren't
they're
those
very
nice?
lilies are so aromatic. There's pink roses, there's these green bursts, there's yellow, there's more roses, there's little carnations. And oh my gosh. So let me just share. Last Saturday, I was in hermit writing mode all day into the night, and my only social interaction and break was to go to Trader Joe's. So I went to Trader Joe's, which I just love going there, and I buy all my vegetables and stuff, and just taking a break. So anyway, the cashier was super nice, guy named Josh, super cool tattoos, and I was just talking to him, and he's like, "How's your day?" And I said, "Great, I'm writing." And our book made the bestseller list. He said, "Wow, that's the best news I've heard all day." And then all of a sudden, as he's ringing up my stuff, he rings the bell. You know, Trader Joe's has a bell, but it's
Yes,
usually
yes,
hey,
yes.
I need you to replace something or whatever. And I'm like, why'd you ring the bell? He said, oh, I just need help. I said, okay. And I didn't think about it. And so all of a sudden, this woman brings a bouquet of flowers. And I thought, I still didn't register, like, okay. So he gives me my receipt and then he handed me the bouquet. And he said, congratulations, you're a bestseller. And I literally cried. I was like,
Oh,
what? That was, first of all, I didn't know Trader Joe's would just give you free flowers. And it
right.
was so sweet of this person, Josh. Thank you, Josh. And so I was so touched. I told the manager how nice he was. I went out to my car and got him a book and autographed it and took it back in the store for him. It was just beautiful. And like we said, icing on the
So
cake. Then I made,
touching. That is
yeah,
so touching. I love it. And spontaneous.
yeah,
Spontaneous.
yeah. And so, I was just overjoyed. And now these lilies, they were all closed up and they just burst open. And that was Saturday. This is Friday. So it's just happy. It's a beautiful thing. And then the people I know who've always wanted to write a book, now they're like, oh, I can't wait to work on this and get it done. The people at the writers conference in Brookings earlier this month, they all bought the book and they're, emailing me saying I'm doing it. I'm so inspired. And so that's just what it's all about. So all of you
Yeah.
aspiring authors out there, you are going to inspire with your book, but you're also going to show an example of what's possible to people who might have never encountered an author, someone who's published, someone who's making a big difference.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, it's an honor and a privilege. I was able to see your sister yesterday in Ashland, Oregon. And so I said, Catherine, can I have a box of your books all signed and ready to go? And so that I can go ahead and sell them when I'm out and about. And so she says, yes, 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 yes. So if
Wow.
people are listening to this and you're going, hey, Joni, do you have a book? I've got them in the trunk too, but they can order
Oh,
them on Amazon. Think of all the places they can order them. Will you talk about that, please, Elizabeth?
yes. So our books, your books, our books, we use Ingram Spark, which distributes the books to Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Apple Books, Target, Walmart, Booktopia, and 39,000 retailers around the world, including libraries.
Yes.
So that's why we love Ingram Spark so much. We just upload the book and it gets distributed. We don't have to do anything else. Plus, it's print on demand. So we don't have to take the book and go to the post office and mail it to Shirley Jones in Arkansas. We just, all the orders are processed through the retail platforms. The books are printed and shipped to the purchaser. And then our authors collect the royalties on a quarterly basis that we pay out. So yeah, the book is also available at our website, twosisterswriting.com. We've had a lot of inquiries from people who don't want to support the giant retail platforms. They would rather support a small business, which we immensely appreciate.
Right,
So
right.
twosisterswriting.com, in the bookstore, you can get this book, you can get None Better, you can get Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts, the other two books that Joni and I have done together. So just know that
Cool.
all that hard work that you're doing to write the book will pay off. It will
Yes.
pay off. And when you have a strategy and use the right categories and market your books, spread the word to your networks, you can become a bestseller. It is accessible to every author.
All of you people out there, your book will be in the spotlight and the beam light that's coming down on Elizabeth's head when she puts up that book. And you can just see the spotlight right on the book when she holds it up. Is that like amazing? Look at that. Look at that beam. Can you everybody see that beam behind? It's like there's the searchlight, there's the spotlight. There
Ah,
she is on the Emmy stage and the red carpet and everything.
ah, that's
Oh my
sweet.
gosh.
So
So much fun.
there's no light on. That is just divine light shining in. It only shows up on
I love
Zoom.
it. I
Yeah.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
So,
That's great. That's good.
yeah.
But and I have one little comment about your flowers.
Okay.
Okay. The Easter lily that you have there, 80% of the bulbs are grown here in Brookings Harbor. So
Wow.
I bet you that bulb that grew that flower came from Oregon.
Oh, that's wild.
Isn't that wild? Isn't
That
that
is.
wild? So
That
I'm
really.
surrounded by the fields that grow the bulbs and then they sell the bulbs.
Oh, wow,
And then
Joe.
they ship them everywhere. They ship them everywhere. But how fun!
Wow.
Those flowers are beautiful, and Josh has a tender heart to be able to do that with you. And oh, I
Yeah.
just think that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yep,
Thanks,
yep,
Johnny. Do you have any
yep.
final words to our listeners and viewers about being a bestseller?
Think the biggest thing is just believe that you're a star, and I think that when you believe in yourself and you believe in your book, it will take its course, and just believe, just believe. And
I love that.
congratulations to Elizabeth and Catherine. And it's just amazing. And the way you highlighted all the authors you've worked with is very, very cool. The way you wrote it, it's easy going. It is definitely not boring. Oh my God, it is so helpful. And I'm glad that you put it in print because that book will last forever. So I know I also sent one to, I've sent many of them to my family and to my niece Chloe, and she's a junior in high school. And I know that she will take that to heart and she'll be able to use that for years as well. So it's something that
Yes.
can be passed down from family member to help somebody write. Yes,
Yes.
it's excellent. Absolutely excellent.
Thank you
Yep.
so much, Johnny. I so appreciate that. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Fun. It's fun.
Just
It's fun working with you and Catherine, the experts in your field. And just congratulations. And I really mean that. I really mean that.
thank you, Joni. And thank you
Yeah.
again for hosting that amazing oceanfront reception at John and Ron's house. Thank you
Yep.
so much, John and Ron. That was an amazing evening, and having 25 or so people there to buy the book and eat delicious food and hear me talk about writing and meet me and my sister. It was just a beautiful blessing, Joni. Thank you.
You're most welcome. My pleasure. My pleasure. Absolutely. So authors
Awesome.
out there, see all the different things that can happen because of this. Keep listening to these podcasts. And if you need more information, I think we've got a couple years worth of good stuff in there. So find those golden nuggets. And you may not want like all 30 minutes of what we talk about, but you'll pick out the things that hit you at the time. So don't give up on watching these. Keep learning, keep growing, and write your bestseller. I know you can do it.
Yay. Thank you, Joanie. Thank
Thank you.
you. All right. All you writers out there, please check out all of our books, including the latest one on the Amazon bestseller list, Write Your Book in a Day by Elizabeth Ann Atkins and Catherine Greenspan. And also all of our books at twosisterswriting.com in the bookstore. You can drop us a note here. We'd love to hear from you. And you can also find Joanie on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under Joanie Lindenmeyer. And I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, Two Sisters Writing and Publishing. We wish you happy reading, happy writing, and we'll see you next week.